Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Lakshman Koka from the Hemet San Jacinto Valley Regional Chamber of Commerce. We are bringing our amazing candidates for both the cities to you so that you can actually get to know them and they can actually appeal to you. So here we are. We're going to introduce you to Karlee Meyer. Karlee, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Karlee Meyer. I am on City Council right now. I've just finished up, or I'm finishing up my first term representing District 1 here in the city of Hemet. I am a fifth generation resident. I am dedicated to the citizens, bringing transparency and open government to you.
Oh, a pretty short and quick one there.
Yeah, short and sweet.
Okay, so let's get started. Question number 1. What do you believe to be the top 3 most pressing concerns to the business community in our valley?
Well, we have, I think that the top 3 concerns to our businesses, and they all need to be addressed the cog of a clock rolls and everything has to be lined up in order for these things to all happen. So first of all, I think that bringing businesses to town is very important. Bringing even industry to town so that we can provide, not just jobs at a fast food place, but jobs that families can survive on. And in order to attract these type of businesses, we need to be business friendly on the side of the city, and we need clean streets. So I think that rolls into the next topic, and it's the cleanliness and dealing with homelessness. And it's real simple for everyone to, say they don't want homeless, but nobody wants to step up and talk about it and come up with solutions. So when I say the different things that we can do with homelessness, we have been working as a council on bringing back some ordinances, and they were on our agenda and then they got postponed, so we're still waiting. But there are things that we can do to tighten up what is allowed on our streets. And so one of the things that I asked for is to strengthen the laws, because when we go shopping and when I'm with my family and my kids, I don't want to be approached. I don't appreciate the panhandling. And then we've seen too many examples of that getting out of control, and then it turns into an aggressive behavior and a crime. And so people, and this gets back to the businesses and to shopping local, and see how these all go together. And we must address every single issue here. So dealing with homelessness, and then what that will do is increase our public safety if we actually have ordinances that the police can enforce. So some cities have sit and lie laws, and we're looking at that for Hemet, because when you come to work, or when businesses, you show up at a doctor's office early in the morning and there's people sleeping and there's feces out in front, that's something that shouldn't be allowed. So there are many things like that I think we can do as a city to strengthen the businesses, because then that gets back to attracting businesses and providing jobs. And when someone comes to town and they drive down Florida, they want to see clean streets. They want to see protected businesses. And they want to know that our citizens are going to be shopping local. And so providing all of these things would help cover that. But we have things to do to strengthen that, for sure. Absolutely necessary.
Thank you. Before we go on to our question number 2, I do want to mention this to you. These questions were actually derived by the Chamber of Commerce board members with the help of Cindy, and these were the questions that were approved by the entire board. So this is this question format is actually coming from entire board members, like I said, and also the businesses they represent. So their experience and everything, that's how these questions have come up. So thank you for your time and consideration to let me finish that. Okay, question number 2. Do you believe the city's budget process should budget expenses to meet revenue goals or adjust revenues to meet budget and spending priorities. And also, regarding the Measure U funds, do you believe the funds should be used only for the original purpose of the Measure U, or can it be used for other general funds?
Well, the budgeting process is always an interesting topic, and I really want to encourage the citizens, first of all, to be engaged in this process and to know what's going on. It's nice now that our meetings are on YouTube, they're live streamed, but there has to be accountability. Now, this last budget, I was one of the two that voted no against it because I don't think that we upheld our promise to the Measure U resolution and what it was going to be spent for. So if it needs to be different, then it needs to be changed. But if we made a promise, until that promise is, if there's a plan that needs to be updated and approved by the community as well, then it's a process. But you can't change and go back on a promise that you made to the people who took it to a vote. So I have a real issue with that. I think that Chris Lopez has done an excellent job balancing our budget this year. He had to do some hard things, that's for sure. I think that it is important for us to prioritize as a council what exactly is going to happen in our city, and I don't know that we always agree on that. So that's why we ended up, there was two that voted no on this last budget. And as far as Measure U, Measure U is passed for public safety, to take care of public safety. If you define what public safety is, and if you look at how the public can be safe, there are many items that fall under public safety, and that really needs to be defined. As a council, we need to define it and come up with a definite plan. And it needs to be a plan that is going to make a difference on our streets. And this too will help citizens. It'll help our public safety. It will also help the businesses in our city. So it'll help the shoppers feel safe. I get a lot of people that talk about that. So.
Thank you. Question number 3. As we know, combating crime requires the effective cooperation between the police and the local residents. As a candidate, what do you believe is the responsibility of the local residents to combat drugs and violence in their neighborhood?
I have been the leader in our neighborhood watch for many years, and it is very important for people to know their surroundings, to know their neighbors, and I think that if each neighborhood would come together, there may be differences, but there's differences across this valley. Even though there's differences, we should all be able to work together. So if we get to know our neighbors, you get to know what cars are supposed to be there, and you have communication with them. Our neighborhood uses the Nextdoor app, and we talk, and we have squashed a lot of vandalism and even property crimes because of the communication. So what this does is this helps foster communication and awareness in your neighborhood, but then it also gives you a little more confidence, because if you have to call into the police department, you don't want to wonder if, oh, well, maybe that's family. If you know that they are having family out, then you know that that car is a strange car. But if you know that nobody's supposed to be here and they're carrying a TV out, we had this happen, and it's not somebody like coming to move out the TV, they're stealing. So I think that it's very important for the citizens to be the eyes and ears and to call and make reports. Some are afraid, some go through different people. Whatever has to happen to get that communication out is very important.
Thank you. Question number 4. During these times of the COVID-19 pandemic, what role should elected officials play?
Well, right now during the pandemic, as far as the city of Hemet, we are absolutely controlled by the county. So we don't have a health official in the city of Hemet, and so we have to merely go off of the direction of the county council. So, I do like to see the different, the flexibility that City Hall has brought to local businesses and allowing, the different businesses to operate outside. And to me, that is the city showing flexibility, recognizing that these people still need to make a living, but yet in a safe way. So if they are able to, the restaurants, the outdoor dining, it seems that many other cities have outdoor dining already. It has really opened up a new element here in Hemet, and people really enjoy it. And so I've been seeing a lot more outdoor activities, the nail salons, the exercising, the gyms that are exercising outside, and fresh air is good for everybody. So I think it brings a real healthy, you know, although there's been a pandemic and everything that, the negatives that come with it, people have been creative in dealing with it, and that's very good to see.
Thank you. Question number 5, if elected, how will you overcome, avoid the challenge or the influence of the special interest groups and still do what is best for our city and accomplish your goals?
I think I can stand on my record that I am who I am. Sometimes it doesn't make people happy. I understand flexibility is important, but when you're standing on issues that affect the people, I have to remember that I am elected by the people. And the people that elected me because I will stand up for certain things. And I don't want to be a different person since I'm elected. You know, I still have the groups that I volunteer with before I was elected. That's just who I am. That's what we do. You know, we are involved with canine rescue and different things like that. And being who you are in the community shouldn't change just because you're elected. I give my phone number out just the same as I did before I was elected, and so I think that's important. As far as the different interest groups, I don't mind hearing, I don't mind sitting and talking with people. People want to donate to my campaign, and I always say, don't expect anything funny from this. And I believe that. I believe that's true. I think that most people can work through differences and still communicate and operate, and I think I can do that for our city as well.
Thank you. Here's the last one. As I mentioned before, tell us something you want the voters to know about you may have not mentioned yet, or anything you want to put emphasis on. It's all yours.
All right. Well, I just want everyone to know that our sense of community here in Hemet, we have a big one, and we have a great group of people, and too oftentimes people come in and try to divide and conquer, and I've seen that in our city over the years. And I've said this at my coffees, and so some of you that attend know that our city has separated the citizens from the government long enough, and bringing people together, engaging citizens, makes a community. And we can talk about the community development, we can talk about the public safety, and you know, the leadership, the budget, those are all very big issues, but all of those come with accountability from the citizens. The only way the citizens know is because they're engaged, they're not pushed away. So for our city, now is the time for everyone to come together, and I will keep fighting for open government and for including everyone in the discussion. Transparency is a big word, and it's not something that it should be taken lightly or as like some sort of cliche. Transparency means open. There needs to be the same rules for every business that's opening in town, the same rules for every neighborhood, the same rules for every criminal. And if we operate our city with the same rules for everyone, and just start being kind. I think that our city will make strides in the next few years, and that won't be because of me or because you voted for me. That's because you were the citizens that participated in your community. That's all.
Thank you so much. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. Thank you.